Well, welcome everyone to the October Food Travel Talk. This is Eric Wolf of the World Food Travel Association, and I serve as the Executive Director of the organization. The World Food Travel Association was founded in 2003, and we create economic opportunities where food and beverage meet travel and hospitality. And we do a lot of exciting things around the world, largely in education and research and marketing and food and beverage tourism. And today we are focusing on Ireland, and we have got Sinead Hennessy from Failte, Ireland, joining us today. Welcome, Sinead. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And Sinead is going to be talking to us a little bit about what's going on in Ireland. She's with the National Tourism Development Agency in Ireland, and her organization is tasked with product development in the country. And so Ireland has really done a lot in the past few years to develop its food and beverage tourism product. And I had the privilege of being there just last month, and I met with Sinead and some of the other champions that they've got in Ireland. And we were in, I'm just sharing my screen right now, we were in the Boyne Valley, which is over here, and had a lovely time, and it was amazing. So I thought it'd be nice to invite Sinead onto the show today and just, you know, kind of talk a little bit about how Ireland got to where it is, and what some of the great food and beverage examples are that people can't miss when they visit Ireland, and all that good stuff. Does that sound good, Sinead?
It does.
Well, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about who you are, what you do for Failte Ireland, and let's just get started that way.
Okay. So thank you, Eric. My name is Sinead Hennessy. I work for Failte Ireland in the area of food tourism. We work across 3 different experience brands in Ireland. And essentially what I do is I am tasked with delivering the activity plan around the strategic direction for food tourism in Ireland. So our strategy in food tourism is to ensure that Ireland is recognised for memorable food experiences that evoke a unique sense of place, culture and hospitality. And there are a number of projects that we undertake to deliver on that strategy, and I suppose I'm involved in that delivery, in that task.
Fantastic. And how long have you been with Failte Ireland?
Oh, coming up on 10 years, actually 10 years the end of October, so in about 2 weeks.
Wow, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks.
Please go ahead.
So we're just in the context of tourism in Ireland. Eric, you're very correct in what you said starting off the show. We are busier than we have ever been in tourism. This year, we are up, at the moment, we're up 12.3% on last year, on the same time in last year. And I think if things keep going at the rate that they are going in Ireland, it will have been the busiest year on record for tourism. I think that's largely down to the amazing experiences that we have on the ground and how hard they work and how much they innovate and strive to I suppose give the visitor what they're looking for when they come here. And as well, you know, we take some credit ourselves in Failte Ireland with some of the brands that we have put out there. They're really, really compelling, and they've enticed people to you know, make that step and come and visit Ireland.
What makes Ireland such the sexy destination right now?
I think there's a lot of reasons. You know, I think we have a really, really special culture in Ireland. I think that we are not too far removed from culture, from that old kind of style of culture, which people find really, really interesting. I think a lot of destinations nowadays, especially the big successful ones, have become very commodified, and I think we have stuck. We've held held the roots really, really well in the past couple of years. So I think that's why. I think we have an incredible food culture, and you know, some of the best raw ingredients in the world are grown in Ireland. We have a fantastic climate, really beautiful landscape, a lovely sense of terroir, and the people, of course, everybody knows we're known all over the world for our people, our friendly people, our storytellers, our bakers, our butchers, our farmers. So I think that's what separates us.
Mm. You know, I think one of the things you were talking about was that kind of authenticity, and that's one of the number one behavior or profile that foodies have when they travel. They're looking for that authentic experience. You'll know from the research that we did together that I think it was 48% of foodies are looking for an authentic experience, which is tremendous. And I certainly experienced that when I was there. I mean, when you get out of Dublin and you get into the countryside, you meet real Irish people, and they've got the accent. And I think that's one of the things that is so exciting. People, they want to hear that Irish lilt, and they want to, get out and meet the real people. And that's what we did. And for example, can you see the screen here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met Olivia Duff, who's one of your food champions. And what can you explain a little bit about what the food champions do, both for Failte, Ireland, but from a visitor perspective as well?
Okay, so we have 22 food champions around Ireland. They have been peer nominated, so nominated by others in their networks as being key to the growth and development of food tourism in where they're based. So the 22 of them are geographically spread. So we have one in Cork, we have one in Galway. There's actually a few in Dublin. We have Olivia Duff, who you just had up on screen there earlier. She is from the Boyne Valley. So they champion food tourism in their area. So essentially what we do is we invest in their development and support them in whatever way they want to grow in their region, as long as, if it's in line with how we're trying to grow within our brands and within our tourism strategy. We began our Food Champion program in 2011, and it's just, we've seen such a huge return from investing in individuals in this way. Like, for example, Olivia Duff, just on screen there, she is this force of nature in the Boyne Valley, one of the linchpins in the network there. So she gathered everybody in that area together. She got them all sourcing local. She got them all to believe and have passion in the food that they produce in that area, and get behind it and promote it. And she's been working really, really hard on that for the past couple of years. And it's only now that we're really, really seeing an incredible food movement in the Boyne Valley. If you go there, you really get a sense of the people, sense of the place. It's very rare that if you went to a restaurant there that you wouldn't see a prominence of the Boyne Valley across all of the menus. They know, if you go to a restaurant there, if you ask anybody about the wooded pig that is on your plate, they will know who has produced that, and they'll probably know them very well. So there's a lovely sense of connection on the ground. The food is absolutely top class. It's absolutely gorgeous. As well as that, they have forged, which is unique to the Boyne Valley, they've forged a really, really strong connection with their history and with their heritage there. And they're developing really fantastic food experiences that demonstrate that and that celebrate that. And I've never seen it, I haven't seen it as strong anywhere else in Ireland. They have a food series, which is a series of small events, excuse me, a series of small events that start in, I think it's March, and run for a couple of months. I think it's 2 months throughout the year. And these are small, intimate events where if you go and visit the Boyne Valley, you can go to them, you can meet the locals. There's only about 20 or 30 people there, and really, really get a sense of the place that you're in. And that's really, it's an incredible movement up there. And, it has been led by Olivia Duff, who was founded as a Failte Ireland food champion back at the start. So Olivia has gone all around the world with Failte Ireland to learn, to innovate, and she's gone back and she's inspired others in her place, which is what this is really all about.
So I think for travelers or prospective travelers to Ireland who may be watching, I can certainly recount a story. When I was in there, and I met Olivia at her family's hotel, which is the Headford Arms there in a town called Trim. And there's Trim right there. And so this is the Boyne Valley for those who are watching today. So here's Dublin. You fly into Dublin, and the Boyne Valley, and this is, gosh, not even, 30 minutes outside Dublin. It's very close to the city. And there's so much to explore on these roads here. And there wasn't traffic, which I couldn't believe. It was fantastic. But in any case, when I met Olivia, she was there in the hotel lobby with a basket of potatoes, and that was the real deal. She was there and she was living the life, and anyone who was coming into the hotel either to check in or to for a meal could have met Olivia right there and seen the potatoes. And we've got Jacinta in Galway, who you mentioned. And she is another person I've known for a while, and she, I think she's very passionate about her area. She told me some stories about the coast there and how it almost looks Caribbean. The water is so clear. And then Patrick, the nice thing that I saw about him and Olivia is that they worked together at Olivia's farm to put on an event. So Patrick, I think he was from Southern Ireland. And, the fact that he came up to the Boyne Valley to work together with another food champion. And I think what this boils down to is that these food champions, you've trained them to deliver a consistent experience that exemplifies what you said, your national strategy. And because they are now living this strategy that they've been trained, they're able to deliver a consistent experience of authenticity and excellence to visitors to Ireland. Would you agree?
I think so, and I will also admit, Eric, that they have learned a lot from each other as part of the network. And whilst I say that they are part of their own networks and they're championing and pioneering the food and the food experiences in their area, they're also part of a national group, and you'll see a lot of that, any visitor that will come to Ireland. So Patrick, the time you were over, had travelled all the way up to help Olivia, and our food champions do this all the time. They all go to each other and they help with initiatives, with projects. They learn. Olivia is assisting with another food champions project, across in Galway next week. So there is this level of connection and camaraderie around the whole island with the food champions, which is lovely. It's really, really great to see. And all of this is non-commercial, by the way. These people have, they've undertaken to do this because they have a very strong passion and belief in what we have in Ireland. And it's really exemplary that they would just go and help and assist the growth in that area. And I think it's very, very visible on the ground now.
I'm not sure if I am aware of any other destination around the world that has this kind of food champion network or program, something similar. I haven't heard of one. Have you?
I don't think so.
Well, kudos to you. That's fantastic. And that's something that the visitors, anyone watching today can look forward to. Is I think that you, especially once you get out of Dublin, which, Dublin is its own animal. It's a big city. It's a fantastic city. It's got great resources. But I think the real key in Ireland is to get out of Dublin and experience the countryside. And that's where you'll still find that authenticity. And you built some brands around different regions in Ireland. And I just pulled up here Ireland's Ancient East, and we can pull up the Wild Atlantic Way too. But do you want to walk us through this regional brand, if you will, and help us understand? So if I was a visitor to Ireland and I discovered this website, how would I, what kind of food stories could I find here? And can you just walk us through the website and what a foodie would find here?
So Ireland's Ancient East, just to introduce it, it is a very, very new visitor experience. It has just officially been launched this year, and it covers the east and middle of the country in Ireland. I think if you scroll down there, just on the website, Eric, you'll see a map for Ireland's Ancient East. Yeah, that's it. So that's the area that it covers, and like the name suggests, it is all about the ancient history and the storytelling of this part in Ireland. So we have a lot of a lot of ancient heritage sites with a fantastic story to tell in this part of the country, and this really just packages it. So it's a really, really good tool and resource for anybody who's thinking of coming to Ireland. This is a relatively new brand, so it is, you know, if you visit Ireland's Ancient East, it's possible that, you know, it won't be packed out with tourists just yet. Really what we're doing, and we've just commenced this, is we've started working with product on the ground, which are really, really amazing experiences, in helping them to tell their story of their heritage and of their histories in that area, which is, you know, isn't a lot of work because it's naturally there anyway. But if you are looking for to get under the skin of Ireland and how Ireland came to be, so this connection with past and our living culture, especially in our food practices, that this is the area for you to go. The website is our mobile first website, so it's really, really good for navigation. So if you can see there, just up on the top, there's itineraries that you can look at, and they'll help you plan your trips. There's fantastic itineraries for 3, 4, and 5 days. They'll help you plan your trips, and they'll give a little information about the stories that can be found in particular areas around Ireland's Ancient East. The reason why we put this together was to really get people to slow down. This area in Ireland is absolutely beautiful. I call it the bounty of Ireland, because for media, we bring over a lot of food media, a lot of travel media, and there is so many beautiful producers in this area. So, for example, we have the likes of Highbank Orchard. They're placed in Ireland's Ancient East, as well as the Boyne Valley. They're situated down in Kilkenny, and these are an organic apple orchard. The owners are named Rod and Julie, and they have an absolutely beautiful food experience there. So you can go, you can visit the orchard, you can visit, you know, you can learn about how they make their cider, how they make their syrups, and you can sit down and have a coffee with them, and they're just lovely people. Rod, talking to him, he is full of stories.
Yeah,
so
it's
not, yeah, he is. It's really not it's really a natural thing that you'll find, that you'll discover anywhere in Ireland's Ancient East.
You know, I really had not spent a lot of time on this website or any of these, your major 3 brands, regional brands, until now. And what just occurred to me is this is actually a really brilliant strategy to capture the interest of a visitor to Ireland, because we have identified ourselves, the way people travel. They don't travel by county border, city border, state or province border, national border. They go where they want to go. And so what we're in the process of doing is developing what we're calling geo-culinary regions around the world. And these are regions where the cuisine is similar. So if you like in the New England part of the United States, if you like the clam chowder and the lobster rolls and things like that, the maple syrup, you could have a similar experience in that region. And so what you've done is divide Ireland into 3 of your own regions, and that's exactly how people travel. So if I'm going to if I'm thinking about Ireland, this is it. I mean, I can have a fantastic experience. If I know I've got a limited number of days, I can drive around here and plan my entire itinerary with these suggestions, as opposed to just here's a map of Ireland and go.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's look at the Wild Atlantic Way. Is that it?
The Wild Atlantic Way. Yeah.
What's the?
It's thewildatlanticway.com.
The Wild Atlantic Way.
The
wildatlanticway.com. Okay. Wow, that's stunning.
So as you can see that the look and feel of this is slightly different. It's a faster paced brand. It's very, very, we have seen an absolute surge in growth in food in this area over the last couple of years. It's split into different zones. So firstly, it's the world's longest coastal touring route.
Oh.
It is incredible, the landscape and the edge, the west edge of Ireland is absolutely incredible to look at and experience. But
gosh, it must take forever to drive that.
not too long, actually. I think you'd get it done. Now, obviously you wouldn't just want to drive from top to bottom or from bottom to top. What we would hope is that visitors would stop, stay, take in an area, and really immerse themselves in a particular area. There is particular honeypots along the Wild Atlantic Way. So you've the Dingle Peninsula, the Ring of Kerry down there. You've West Cork, which is synonymous with amazing food. But you have brilliant undiscovered places. For example, the Inishowen Peninsula, just there in the top, is absolutely beautiful. The north is absolutely gorgeous. And really undiscovered, very authentic. That's is that the lighthouse you're after clicking on there?
Hornhead, it says.
Okay, yeah, that's a beautiful old monument there. There's a gorgeous lighthouse up the top there.
Bloody Foreland, that's a great name.
Yeah.
Nice.
But these are incredible places that you can go to, and what we would hope from a food perspective, there's gorgeous villages and towns in the inlets of the Wild Atlantic Way that you would stop, that you would take half a day there, that you would sit and look at the coast and have a bowl of seafood chowder, and really kind of taste the local fare. There's the most beautiful fish on the west coast of Ireland. It's one of and lamb is absolutely gorgeous as well. But we would hope that visitors would stop and slow down and immerse themselves in an area.
Sinead, I know that we've got to finish up soon, but what is the third brand? I apologize for not remembering. Let's pull that up for people.
Yeah, the third brand is called Dublin. Visit Dublin, or the brand is called Dublin, a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And this covers the area of Dublin and is absolutely an incredible. Dublin has changed to what we have seen in or what we may perceive in the last couple of years. It really is very, very fresh, very, very creative. There is lots happening in Dublin. I always say our biggest challenge with Dublin is keeping up with the pace of things, but there is so much happening on the ground, gorgeous places to eat, and things to do in Dublin. It's really, really good.
Does it have its own website, or are you using the Visit Dublin website?
That's it, the Visit Dublin, if you just click on that.
Okay. Okay.
So you'll see this is an inspiration website here. We'll give you a sense of Dublin. There's some brilliant, if you click on the top tab, or even just move around the whole site, there's some great inspiration tips. There's lovely insider tips. So, if you want to go off the beaten track, get a really, really good brunch. If you want to look at a whiskey distillery, anything like that. There's loads of inspiration in there.
Another site. They're all very different, but also they're all very compelling. Beautiful.
They're great. And what we're trying to say with Dublin is that Dublin has a beautiful coast. So whilst you might be in this European capital city and this economic powerhouse, in 20 minutes you can be up a mountain, or in 20 minutes you can be sitting on the coast, the east coast of Ireland, and taking in that. So it's multifaceted. There's lots of dimensions to it, and that's the really, really good and special thing about Dublin, I think.
Yeah. Wow, that's stunning right there. Well, I know we got to get going because you need to head out and get back home to your family. But should people? Well, they've got the websites here, and I think those are probably the best way for people to get into the experience that they can plan for their trips to Ireland. Ireland is a fantastic food destination. There's a lot going on. I think with the leadership of Failte Ireland, you're really helping to ensure that visitors to Ireland who are foodies have a great experience, and I certainly experienced that last month. So Sinead, thanks for your time today, and anyone who's watching, the websites are there. I would encourage you to check them out and plan your trip to Ireland, because it's stunning, and you'll have a great time. The hospitality is wonderful. It's a fantastic destination. Thanks, Sinead.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.